A hinged head, that's what our high school soccer coach told us at every practice. I played fullback, and he taught me the dual arts of anticipation and keeping my eyes on the opponent. Knowing what to expect was the key to a successful defense. I wasn't as good, but I still managed to get a full scholarship to a day school, where I majored in business. Lucille, a slightly chubby red-headed girl with an outgoing personality, teamed up with me to work on a project during my junior year. As they say, one thing led to another, and we got hot and heavy, getting married the summer after graduation. Our junior year project was good enough that we both landed internships at one of the big companies in town, Malcolm Precision Instruments, she in sales, and I in accounting. This smart reader speaks volumes about where the strength of our characters lie. We loved our girls and gave up trying for a boy after 3. A little over a year ago, the last of them left the nest, and after 24 years, it became quiet, eerily quiet at breakfast and dinner. After a week of this, I decided we needed to do something, and planned a vacation for Lucille and me to the Smoky Mountains near Gatlinburg. We both loved country music, so I figured we could catch some performer on their way to or from fame. Lots of leaf-strewn mountain trails would allow us to use our hiking boots. Cozy cabin with a king-size bed would hopefully complete our reunion. It all worked out. We had a great time, laughing and smiling, dancing and hugging, remembering the misses and highlights of the years when we were too busy preparing for the next deadline to stop and smell the roses in our lives. The house also had a hot tub on the deck, which we used with gusto, not to mention often. About a month after we returned, breakfasts and dinners reached a new level of, well, convivial. Probably the most appropriate word. Our love life remained at a lively level, and I picked a nice hike every 2 or 3 weekends. Life in the empty nest was wonderful until the annual company Christmas party. Lucille, who worked in sales, seemed to know everyone, while I, who worked in accounting, didn't know many and had no interest in it. Happy in my own skin, I saw no reason to chatter and gossip about trivia like other people's kids, their school grades, etc. The conversation turned to crooked NBA referees or how mega college sports programs screwed over college athletes. I was happy to join in to add a drop or two of bile. So at corporate events, we would usually split up and tell each other tales after we moved on to foreplay and the actual game. This year, however, something was off. My usual crowd had thinned out due to downsizing, employees moving to remote work, and a variety of other reasons. I sauntered around, glancing at what was going on, and secretly wondering what group Lucille was hanging out in. Nothing. I cornered Abby, one of her co-workers. "Have you seen Lucille?" She looked down and away. "No, she was here just a minute ago with Brent and Kevin." Brent Masters was her boss. Kevin was another co-worker. Abby's unusual behavior made the hair on the back of my neck ruffle. Then the 3 of them came in from outside, laughing and fully dressed, drinks in their hand. I talked myself out of my behavior and caught her gaze across the room. She brightened up and headed toward me. "Hey, Duncan, decided to come back to the real world?" A kiss on the cheek followed, not at all the behavior I expected from someone who was hiding something. Actually, yes, I wanted to see how the other half was having fun. Taking my hand, she led us toward a group of salespeople and support staff, telling jokes. Nice. After the party, however, I felt a subtle shift in our relationship. It started with the depletion of what I thought was the anchor of our connection, breakfast and dinner. One morning, she skipped breakfast to get to the office in time for an early meeting. The next week, it was dinner again for some meeting. There was a similar fading in our sex life. In retrospect, it was the thin end of the wedge. By spring, Lucille began to go missing, or at least missing from the house a lot. Looking back, I realized how I missed it because it started small and gradually increased. In April, she brought home a special quarterly bonus, and it was almost worth it. Things came to a head during the planning of Memorial Day weekend. At dinner, one of those dinners that now increasingly took place in silence, Lucille suddenly spoke up. "Duncan, we need to talk." "Yes?" Company is having a golf tournament for our top independents in Myrtle Beach next week after Memorial Day. I'll be gone from Tuesday through next Sunday. Sounds like fun. Where are we staying? You're not going. It's a vendor-only event, and you're working in accounting, so you don't qualify. I can pay my own way. Surely you're not going to be with the reps 24/7? Duncan, you'll be the only spouse and distraction. The company is planning several excursions with the reps besides golf. And frankly, being the only one with my spouse would be awkward for me. No offense, but it will look like my clingy husband doesn't trust his wife and has to look out for her. A nagging husband, huh? I'm not saying you are, but that's what it will look like. Is that what you want? Yeah, Lucille, what about our plans to go to the Keys with the girls? Oh, you're right. I forgot about that. Well? She shook her head. I'm really sorry about that. It's a corporate event. Even if I remembered, I'd still have to go. Can't we change the date? The girls have already made their plans for the summer. Why don't you change the date for Brent? It's not like you're going to sleep with him. For the first time, she sat, leaning back and looking around like a fish on land. What the hell are you talking about? I'm talking about you and Brent having dinner several times a week after the Christmas party, first with the others and then alone. After you first met at the Pleasant Night Motel the day before Valentine's Day. Since then, you've had sex marathons at different motels every week and plan to dump me and Sheila, his wife, after Memorial Day under the pretense of this golf competition. Fear, respect, guilt, and surprise flashed across Lucille's face. Where do you get such crazy ideas? You forgot or just didn't know that Brent is a serial womanizer. That means he's already had affairs with several other women in your department. You're just the latest. L hath no fury like a scorned woman. And to deal with you, he kicked Brenda Thomas to the curb. Bad move. She never liked you because you're better than her, and flaunt it. Everyone knows you're the most beautiful woman in sales, but Killer Brent dumped her right before Valentine's Day, touch your bones. And she had to spend this romantic holiday alone. Rejected. Still fuming over Brent's cold-blooded betrayal, he tracked me down at a company Valentine's Day dinner and spoke up. You were so into your new boyfriend you didn't notice. She filled me in on his favorite restaurants and the days he could get by without arousing his wife's suspicion. Oh, and his plans for your excursion. She's in sales too and told me there would be no meetings with company reps after Memorial Day. I paused. You knew your buddy Brent was married, didn't you? To Madison, who used to be a beauty pageant regular. He also has 3 kids, though they're still in middle school. The color disappeared from Lucille's face. This conversation, I guessed, wasn't going the way she expected. Rough. Tomatoes. She shook her head slowly. Continued, you didn't know he left Brenda, or you didn't know he was married, and the kids were still in school? In a soft voice, she replied, neither. Ah, you were so presumptuous to think he was a happy bachelor, and you were so hot that he couldn't get away from you. For some inexplicable reason, this handsome man was without a woman and couldn't wait to jump into bed with you and exchange bodily fluids. I thought you were smart, Luce. Obviously, you have no decency or morals, but imagine my surprise when I discovered you have no intelligence either. I stood up. Okay. Okay, what? During our marriage, I've always given you what you wanted. We never wanted a house this big, but you wanted it, so we bought it. The interior is what you wanted. Car, your clothes, our vacations. Think about it. Whenever we had a disagreement, I gave in to your wishes. So, okay, you want a divorce? I'll file for divorce tomorrow. Lucille could not stand it. She stood up, throwing back her chair, and screamed in my face, no way, I'm not giving you a divorce. My affair with Brent is... Blah 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 blah. I interrupted. It's just sex. Doesn't mean anything, and you only love me. One phrase about cheating after another. Save your breath, you don't have a choice. When I saw you give yourself to your new boyfriend. He's not my boyfriend, she screamed. When you let your boyfriend sleep with you, it was over. I did the paperwork and got everything ready. Lisa, our oldest, saw me coming out of the lawyer's office and cornered me. She knew about you and Brent. I didn't ask how. She convinced me you weren't that stupid. You would have broken up with him as soon as you came to your senses. So, since I still love you, I listened to her and told the lawyer to hold off until you claimed you one way or another. So, the papers are ready and waiting for you to wake up. Instead, you want to ruin 2 marriages, hurt his 3 kids who are still in school, and our 3 girls to get another man. In other words, you pulled the trigger. Does Lisa know? Lucille sounded defeated and shocked. All 3 of them know. Lisa told them. They're waiting for me to tell them what you want, one way or another. So, when are you and Brent leaving? I'm not sure I want to go. Of course you do. Start packing as we speak. Brent's wife is having this conversation with him. She's kicking him out today so he has nowhere to go. You already have a condo in Myrtle Beach that you don't have to pay back, so you can add a few more days and enjoy yourself there while you decide what to do with the rest of your life. Lucille sobbed. Don't our 24 years together mean anything to you? Apparently, they mean more to me than they do to you. Remember, you threw them away at the Christmas party. Instead of coming to your senses, you became Brent's until he moved on to the next. Of course, at least I had the respect and decency to divorce you before looking for someone decent. There are still women like that out there, and I believe I am worthy of such a woman. What about me? You're not suitable.